Please welcome our head of school, CEO, and drummer extraordinaire, Dr. Avi Halzel.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Each and every one of us has had to adapt our lives to the pandemic in some way. We've all had to adjust our behaviors to varying degrees. It brings new meaning to the phrase, "No one is immune." When we set out to develop a plan for school this year, there were more questions than answers. There were more changes to guidance than there was guidance to rely on. There were more opinions about what we should do than time to digest them all. There were more conflicting demands than I had seen in my 30 years in the field of education. There was no shortage of challenges we knew we were going to face. Teachers not seeing parents in person, new social emotional issues playing out in challenging ways, milestones and transitions looking entirely different. How do you change the whole educational system to accommodate all of that? What does risk management look like for employees? How do you plan fiscally for any of this? I recall many conversations with nervous parents last summer. One day I was talking to a pre-K parent about enrolling her daughter in kindergarten at Denver JDS. She was very nervous about COVID and was so pleased to learn about all of the safety precautions we were planning to implement. But she said to me, "Just please don't make the children wear masks. My daughter will never be able to wear a mask all day at school." The next evening, I took a call at home from a current parent, a doctor. He suggested that we purchase N95 masks and face shields for every student and employee and require them at all times. Never mind that you couldn't get N95 masks at the time. During the summer, we ran a small camp, both to give kids the much needed opportunity to have fun with friends and to pilot our developing protocols. Everything was going quite well until we noticed people wearing masks below the nose. This was a fixable problem, but the issue quickly took on a life of its own, with some people complaining that they couldn't keep the mask on properly all day, and others were complaining that we were not enforcing our protocols. Honestly, it was a low point in the planning phase for me. It seemed like there was no way to help people feel safe and secure in the midst of this awful pandemic. I had people telling me that they were really glad they didn't have my job, even more so than they usually do. But the truth is that right about that time, my work started to become more meaningful to me than perhaps at any time in my entire career. And let me tell you why. Suddenly, the work that had to be done was critically important. It was about sickness and health, potentially life and death. So I leaned in, way in. I became determined to not only survive, but thrive, truly thrive in this COVID environment. Now, a year into the pandemic, I can honestly say that I am proud. Proud of myself, incredibly proud of our teachers and staff and administration. I am proud of our board of directors, and I am proud of our community, and that is you. When reflecting carefully on the challenges of operating a school in a pandemic, from the changing guidelines to the wide variety of thoughts and opinions from our community, as well as state and federal leadership, it all seemed to come down to two central themes. Number one, keep everyone as safe as possible. And number two, deliver Denver JDS's unique and inspiring brand of education to our loyal students and their families. And in this second priority, it was also clear that keeping our school open for in-person learning was a most important goal. Once it was narrowed down to these priorities, everything seemed to come together. The data indicated that the most important things that can be done to keep students safe is mask wearing, distancing, and sanitizing. So that is what we prioritized. We received grants to help with the staggering financial impact of the COVID-related changes. Thank you, Rose Community Foundation and Jewish Colorado, for your support here. And we created our own guidelines, including the DJDS Covenant. And we communicated this information frequently to our community. And here we are, 2/3 into the school year, and we have absolutely been one of the most successful schools in the country this year at providing a safe, and powerful learning experience for all of our students. We have had in-person learning for the vast majority of the school year. Only a small number of students and faculty have had COVID, and no one got seriously ill. And we were one of the first schools in the state, public or private, to get all of our teachers vaccinated because of our strong affiliations with key leaders and institutions in the state. As I think about what I'm going to take with me as a leader post-COVID, I recognize that things are never going to be the same. But here is what I know to be true now. Whatever happens moving forward, no matter what crisis we must confront next, no matter what opportunity we have to continue to grow into the best versions of ourselves as a school and a community, I am ready. I know that our tremendous teaching staff is ready, and I cannot thank them enough for their professional expertise and dedication, as well as their humanity. We are ready. We are at the top of our game. May we continue to go, Mechayel Lechayel, from strength to strength. Thank you.